Challenges and crises are the new normal in our volatile world. Our customers face political conflicts, skilled labor shortages, persistently high energy costs, inflation, as well as new demands due to digitalization, AI, and climate change. This complex environment demands a fundamental transformation of the industry towards greater efficiency and sustainable business practices. With our strategy of becoming the #1 in efficiency and sustainability for our customers, Bilfinger stands firmly by their side as the solution partner. By enabling our clients to master their challenges, we significantly contribute to their profitability and success. This is the source of Bilfinger's own success story. As our group results show, Bilfinger is on the right track to sustainable, profitable growth. As a people business, we owe this largely to the daily commitment of our more than 30,000 employees worldwide. Together, we will continue to implement our strategy with determination and with goals as ambitious as they are realistic. Welcome to the Capital Markets Day 2024.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Capital Markets Day of Bilfinger 2024. To all of you here in Frankfurt, it's very good to see you in person, but also to everybody joining us today via web chat and video stream, especially also our colleagues worldwide. Thank you for taking the time. My name is Bettina Schneider, and I lead you through the day, but as always, safety first. In case of emergency in this room, please use the emergency exits which are to your right, to your left, and in the back. Thank you very much. We start now with the presentations. We will make many short breaks to have your questions and to give you the answers. We have a lunch break to socialize, and as a highlight at the end of the day, I hope all of you will join us to the ACHEMA, where we would like to show you what we show our customers in these days to our customers in the processing industry. But as of now, let's get going. We start with the first presentation with our Group CEO, Thomas Schulz, and Group CFO, Matti Jäkel. Welcome on the stage.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could be a little bit more applause, or?
Yeah,
especially from the left side where our own people sit.
we'll
Guys,
have
this
more,
evening.
We'll have more later on.
Okay, welcome to our Capital Market Day 2024. Today is about our potential. That is what we will talk about. It's into sustainable, profitable growth. As all good companies, we have a strategy. And we actually showed our updated strategy in February last year. And we informed that we have two major directions where we go with the company. One is operational excellence. You can say it simply, the internal improvement of our own efficiency. And the other one is the positioning in the market to go into profitable, sustainable growth. And we show here on that slide what we delivered in 2023, which was a reasonable result, I would say, Matti. And that result is to see in the light to achieve our midterm targets with a growth of 4 to 5% per year, up to 2026 roughly, 6 to 7% EBITDA, and a cash conversion in the north of 80%. And we will achieve that. And today, on this Capital Market Day, we will inform what did we do in the strategy, what are we doing further, what is about the stock acquisition, and especially what are we doing more to generate more cash, which is very important. So out of that, the agenda looks like that. Matti and myself, we go with the whole group. Then we have Jürgen, and I would like to have my whole gem beside Matti and myself standing up and showing yourself. This is the Bilfinger Group Executive Management Team and reflects the whole company. HR, HSEQ, procurement, innovation, and products, as well as the 3 segments, and of course finance, and then you have that CEO on side of it, not on top. Huh? And I learned very well that with digital, in the future, there could be actually digital CEOs. Yeah? Let's see what we can do about that. But coming back, then in the afternoon session, we have the segments. And after the segments, we do a wrap-up. And then, of course, during the different blocks, you can ask, and of course, after the wrap-up, about the whole thing again. And then we go together, as Bettina said, to the ACHEMA. And of course, you can ask us whatever you want. This is the time to mingle. This is the time to answer all the questions what you have. But before we go into the strategy, what are we today? Who are we? We are not a construction company, period. It's over, done, and out. We are a company with more than 30,000 employees doing industrial service in North America, Europe, and in the Middle East, and in a lot of areas actually market leading in technology and in other things too. And we are a company offering for our clients from consultancy to maintenance and turnaround. Whenever you have a plant and you have gas and liquids, we are there to support you and make it more efficient and sustainable. And we can take it over completely. And we proved that for more than 100 years. We have more than 80% in the maintenance and engineering. And we have, 17% around in technology. You will hear about that too. We are in 4 main industries, but actually we are in all industries. The main industries are defined that we do more than 10% of the revenue in that industry. But we are a mirror of the global processing industry. No matter if it's ketchup or medicine or oil and gas or anything. And 80% of that what we offer is the same. That's a uniqueness and gives us a fantastic opportunity to maneuver. If an industry goes up, we can allocate more resources from other industries going a little bit down. We are now in the MDAX, which makes us actually quite happy to be back in the MDAX. We have around 5 billion turnover, and our profitability, no matter that 23 was well received in the market, still too low. And that's our ambition. Same as with the cash, developed in the right direction, still too low. And the management team knows exactly what we talk about when Matti enters the room. Important is, what are the drivers for the business? What is it what drives our business? What is it what drives our future? And the trends are very important for that. We are in a very volatile world, and you know that. Since the financial crisis, the amount of impacts on boards, on supervisory boards, on CEOs, CFOs, management teams is unbelievably high. And customers more and more look to focus on their core and not on everything. You hear that pure play. 20 years, 30 years ago, consultancies were selling us, you have to be diverse. Now they all tell you, you have to be a pure play because the impact is so big. Over bureaucracy, impact of politicians into our daily doing, labor shortage, climate change, you can name it. It's a lot. What is in for us? What are the drivers for our business? The drivers for our business is that customers under pressure, no matter if it's positive pressure, that means they expand and would like to build new things like in North America, Middle East, partly in Europe, or they are under pressure because they decline, because energy costs goes through the ceiling and so on. Then they come to us. That's our business model to support clients in both areas. And that is what we call outsourcing, because they come to us. Can you take over all the maintenance? Can you take over the engineering? Can you take over how to build these factories all over the world exactly the same? We as Bilfinger, we can do that. We decomplex the clients, we improve efficiency, we improve sustainability, and we can calculate it on the millimeter, on the gram CO2 for the clients. And that is important because we unload them in the adjacent part what they have to do with all these tasks. That is what we as Bilfinger do. And we work with labor shortage, with our training and education. We work with labor shortage that we tell customers, you don't need 200 people on site. Have 10 and we bring the rest. That's where we earn money on. They get more efficient, they earn more money, we earn on that. That's our business model. So how does the industry look like? The industry looks like, actually, for us, quite good. No matter how you see the growth rates in the different areas. You see here the 4 main industries for us. Energy, you see chemicals, petrochem, oil and gas, and biopharma. And then adjacent industries like metallurgy, cement, and others, which are not so big in our portfolio, but we are working there too. Where if we, as I said, if we pump ketchup or if we pump a medicine, we still pump a liquid. And we are experts in it. When you look into, we didn't change the overall outlook of the market growth. We said 16 months ago, roughly, 2% growth in the industry where we act in, and we keep that. A little bit of movement, biopharma, energy a little bit better, and chemical industry through Europe, especially Germany, kind of lower. But in average, still the 2%. And then the behavior of the clients, well, what we live from. If they go up 2%, it doesn't mean we go up. We can go up 10%, 15%, and we can go down if they would say we stop the plant completely from one day or another. And they are not doing that, by the way, no matter that it always pops up. Outsourcing is the thing. They come and say, you take over. You are an expert in that. Why should I do it? I have 5 plants. I have experience from 5 plants. You have experience from 3,000 plants. You are the expert. And with digital systems, we can offer them to measure us daily on the efficiency improvement. So the world change into the positive for service companies like us, if you have the right competence at the right spot. Out of that, what is our growth? We have a very attractive growth. We have the 2% market growth, as you see. We have the self-propelled growth, which means that in existing regions and technologies, we still have a long way to go to cover it properly. You will hear about the segments, but in a nutshell, we can say if we would have in all the markets we act with all the technologies what we already have in Bilfinger, a low market share, our revenue would be more than double. That is a potential because it's low risk. We know the culture, we know the people, we know the customers. They only have to recognize that we can offer more. And this offering more is what they ask for, because only to have scaffolding will not help you as a supplier. You have to offer the customer efficiency. And for that, you need insulation, you need engineering, you need, of course, the whole package. And we can offer that. That's our strength. And on top of it, we put M&A. Because M&A for us is important to establish ourselves in markets as the solution provider, as Stork, for example, shows. And what is the important there? The important is, of course, that we look into our balance sheet, and we have a very good one, a very healthy one. The importance is that we create EPS, total shareholder return. The importance is that we only look for companies which are fitting into the product offering what we already have. They strengthen us in areas where we don't have these kind of products. Because when you look on the map, and you will see that, it looks like a patchwork. And we would like to make it one color, everything dark blue, and great future, of course. So back, 2 main directions, operational excellence and positioning. Efficiency program, the 55 million brutto savings, what we promised to deliver this year, where roughly 12, 13 million are going into education and training, will happen. And the efficiency program was finalized end of last year. As we promised, the year 2024 will bring in that money. It's all calculated in, no need to talk further about it. So we talk about operational excellence. And here you see the strategic levers, what we drive here. And you will see them quite often, because it's not about the amount, it's about the effectiveness. And what you see here too is the progress, what we have since last Capital Market Day. The reason to show it in that detail is that you see that we are not only saying it, that we really do it. And you actually can break it down to the figures what we deliver. And that transparency we will keep, so that you can read us better, because we know that still some media calls us construction company or anything else. That is not the Bilfinger. We are a leading industrial service provider, highly competent people with more than 30,000 employees in more than 30 countries with more than 100 nationalities. That is what we stand for. We are extremely good in that what we do, and I'm extremely proud of my people in that. So another part is de-risking. What does it mean, de-risking? Standardization comes in. De-risking is that service is not that you go on the site and say, oh, I start to work, that you actually go to the client and say, this is my offering. You have that plant with this, we give you KPIs what we will fulfill, and that is the work what we will do for you. And that is what you pay us for. That is de-risking, because you are standardized. The customer knows what he gets, and we know when we get paid and what we have to do. Makes life significantly easier, because you copy and paste it. We did it for BASF, for Bayer, for Dow Chemicals, for Procter & Gamble, for Shell, for Total Energy, doesn't matter. That is de-risking and standardization. I have some deep dives, and the deep dive is competence development, because it's not only that we decided to do the education and training completely in-house, to get the apprentices in, it's actually about educating, further educating and training our own employees we already have, offering people from other industries or other companies to join us. This upskilling is an offer. We have training programs. You can go around the world, no matter if you are blue collar or white collar. We offer that. That makes us very much attractive. We can bring a blue collar regular worker up to an engineer degree. We can do that. But it's not on a university all the time. It's actually on customer side, working, being part of the innovation and product team. With that, we are not only more higher attractive than others, because that's a relative game, we actually have more quality towards the client. We can do more with less people, for the customer less money, and for us less complexity in it. And our people, when they are upskilled and higher quality, they show the Bilfinger true value towards the client. And we proved that already. This is not what we just start. That is ongoing for decades. But we channel it, we standardize it, we pack it, and everyone has to go through it, and we make a motivating thing out of it. Then, last thing in that is digitalization. Everyone talks about artificial intelligence. When we have still in the industries where we operate no automation in it, we have to educate, we have to bring the people to digitalization, that they lose the fear what is coming to them. And you train that. And when you do that, you see that the people really think, wow, that is great. We can do 10 times more, and it's easier, and it makes more fun. But you have to educate that. That is part of the training and education. That's the reason why we said minimum or more than 0.5% of the revenue we invest each year in training and education. So that you can track us, are you doing that, what you say? Then the positioning. On the positioning, we have 4 main strategic levers what we work on. You see the progress. Market expansion is one of the big things. I think it's easy to understand. But what it really means is that we are able to offer in each region all the products. We are not doing that today, out of several reasons, but it's a hell of a good potential, because customers ask for more products bundled. You will hear about that regarding the Stork acquisition, how logical that acquisition is and was. Let us take one strategic lever, external digitalization and innovation, because we have an internal part to improve ourselves and an external part. Today, we only have 5% our revenue with digital products. Only 5%, that's the truth. Of course, you can say, why are you not doing more as Bilfinger? Yeah, customers have to allow it. They have to open up and saying, I don't want to have scaffolding, I would like to have drones with sensors. And this is not easy. This you have to convince. Everyone would like to be the number 2, not the number 1, to go into a new technology. But we have so good customer contacts, we are so big on customer sites that we actually can implement it. And that is what we drive for. And our target is to be more than 40% with digital products on the revenue in the midterm targets. We will achieve that because We have a fantastic situation for us as Bilfinger. We have a market which is booming, like the Middle East and partly North America. And we have a market which is heavily under pressure, which is in Europe, especially in Germany. And they ask for tools to get things done faster and that they can track how our performance is. That calls for digital products. If we then look into specific examples that you see what we already do, you have on the left side scaffolding. You can do scaffolding with 3D installations. It makes it significantly faster, safer, more reliable and repetitive. You have in the middle part predictive maintenance, which means we tell the client before something happens in the process or on equipment like pumps and mills, what will happen so that when we have the next shutdown can do already the additional work that they have no more downtime. We can do with the third part drones on insulation, actually flying on oil and gas offshore platforms instead of having scaffolding in the Northern Sea, which is, I can tell you out of experience, in November or in February, not a nice thing to be on. And we can use drones to analyze, to check, and having spot-related work, which makes it cheaper, faster, safer, more efficient. And then sustainable Bilfinger. We pray that we enable companies to get more efficient and with that more sustainable. And sustainability is a technical thing. I'm not talking moral politics, technical thing. We are each day reducing CO2. We can calculate, we can prove, we can put a stamp on it from a notar or from any consultancy. Not a problem. We do it. We don't talk about it, we do it. We just do it. But if you offer that, you have to be sustainable yourself. And we are part of a value chain, but the part of the value chain, what we cover, is very minor because customers have a sustainability impact with their production sites in our value chain of more than 95%. The suppliers, close to 5%, and we are below 0.1%. But you have to be a role model that you do it yourself. And we agreed for the GHG Scope 3 in 2025 to do that. Another step. EcoVadis put us on gold, which means we are under the top 5%, which is very important for clients. They look exactly into that measurement. On the right side, you see a result out of a challenge because Brussels forget us completely in the EU taxonomy that there's mechanical industrial service companies. So whatever we do on the site, our clients can put it in the EU taxonomy, we not. So we implemented last year on the Capital Market Day our own classification to show you the progress, to be transparent, and we use that what you have in electronic stores when you look on a refrigerator. It's class A, very good, to D, really bad. And we promised in the midterm target we are out of D and we move more into A and B. And we achieved that through the bundling of our products, through the combination to go to the clients. So this into the sustainable, profitable growth shows you we perform on that what we promise. You can see that in the different strategic levers as well as in the financial figures. And we have quite a potential further to go. And with that, I give over to Matti.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All of what Thomas just told you translates into performance. Anyone who bought a Bilfinger share on the 1st of January 2022 or invested 100 euros and would look at his account statement would see it's worth 219 euros. So 119% total shareholder return since January 2022. How did we do this on the strategic side? Thomas told you already, we completed the efficiency program, we implemented the functional organization, we spent a lot of effort on de-risking, which improved our profitability, and we acquired Stork, and today is the day to tell you how that Stork acquisition is fitting into the Bilfinger organization, what it does to our outlook for 2024, and more details on this one. On the capital market, we returned to the MDAX in March this year. Very happy to have that achieved. Standard & Poor's gave us a positive outlook in May of 2024. We outperformed against the indices, first against the SDAX and then against the MDAX, I have to admit the MDAX is not the biggest challenge in the world, as you all know. And we have an increase in sales side coverage, which we take as a real compliment from the capital market of our performance. Let me take you back to the Capital Market Day 16 months ago in February of 2023. We issued midterm targets, importantly with a step in between, which is 2024, where we said we would increase our margin to 5% and above, and the cash conversion of 70% for 2024, and the midterm targets, well known, well communicated, revenue growth of 4 to 5% per annum, 6 to 7% EBITDA margin, and a cash conversion to exceed 80%. How does the Stork acquisition now change or affect the 2024 numbers? In February, we issued a guidance without Stork because the transaction was still pending. We signed in September of 2023. Closing, as you are all aware, happened on April 1st of this year. There is an increase in revenue. We expect about 300 to 400 million euros for the 9 months from April 1st to December 31st to add to our revenue. So we increased the outlook on the revenue to 4.8 to 5.2 billion euros. The EBITDA margin said would be 4.9 to 5.2%. There's a bit of a dilution, and I come to this. And we widened the range from 4.8 to 5.2%. Still, if you take the midpoint, we promised 5%, we will deliver 5% in 2024. The free cash flow doesn't change from 100 to 140 million. The additional profit that comes in through the acquisition, through the Stork business, will be offset by the integration cost that we will have to pay out in 2024. So that equals out. Going into the segments, there's only one change, and it's E&M Europe. The entire acquisition as it stands today only affects the segment Engineering and Maintenance Europe. The others remain the same, as you can see on this slide. E&M International unchanged, Technologies unchanged, and the reconciliation, which completes the group, is also unchanged. The additional revenue takes E&M Europe to a revenue between 3.2 billion and 3.6 billion. And the margin, we are taking the range one notch lower from 5.9 to 6.2. We take it to 5.7 to 6.1% to address the dilutive effect that the Stork business will have only this year. Turning the attention back to our midterm targets and cash. First of all, we have done a lot of work on the efficiency program, operational excellence, and the positioning to get the margin progression going. This is extremely important to prepare the organization, and then the cash can follow. It's always profitability first, and then the cash follows. So cash conversion, to take it to 80% consistently, you see higher values for the prior years, 97% in 2022 and 78% in 2022. And if you look further back, we see a lot of up and down in cash conversion. The idea is to make this more even across the future. How are we going to do this? The key to working capital improvement is really to look at capital efficiency, and that's a supporting midterm target that we will be working. We will be reporting the net trade assets as percentage of revenue, where we are operating at around 12% in the last 2 years, with a bit of an improvement that we see this year. But the midterm target here is to take this to 8% and below. You see our peers are trading between 11% and 1%, and that's just a selection there. If you look at the average of 6%, you see there's even further potential beyond 8% as a capital efficiency measure. The strategic levers that we have applied and continue to apply on the revenue side and the profit side also have a cash impact. Take competence development, take standardization, take de-risking, take automation, and take market expansion to a varying degree between medium and high. Why is that the case? For our working capital improvement, it is extremely important to shorten the billing cycle. So from delivery of our service to getting the invoice out to the client and then getting paid. How do the strategic levers support this? De-risking, and I would like to give you one example there. The focus on cash flow in contract terms and contract conditions. Oftentimes, we have contracts where we are billing on milestones, which means achieving something technical, where the client is solely responsible to say yes or no. You have not delivered or you have delivered. So we're in the hands of the client to say this has happened and then sign off. We are moving away from milestone billing to progress billing, meaning we bill month by month the work that has been performed. Yes, finally we will deliver the milestones, but they're technical milestones, and that should be the limit. Otherwise, we will be funding work continuously until we get paid, which binds our working capital. Change order management is the same. Oftentimes it happens that on a contract, the client changes specifications, timing, deliveries, and what have you. If you're bound by a milestone, the time extension will just do the very same, pushing out the achievement of the milestone, and we have to even deliver more services and fund those services. So going to progress billing will really help improve our working capital. Automation. All our invoices come with a lot of documentation, and to efficiently organize this is another matter of focus that we have started and we will continue. Time writing, document handling, and the entire billing process will be fully automated and hopefully in the future also fully digitized. This doesn't come easy. There's a lot of hard work in there, and there's a lot of training and development with our people involved, because they're used to sometimes a very old-fashioned way of doing business. So the focus here is not on the finance people, because they do understand the importance, but it's training the operational staff that it's very important to deliver high quality to satisfy the client on the one hand side, but on the other hand side to make sure that the money flows as fast as possible into our bank account. All of this will help on various fronts. Our cash flow will be more consistent throughout the year, so the known and well-known bathtub will be much shallower. The capital efficiency will increase, and the measure that we're using, as said here, is average net trade assets over revenue, taking it from 12% right now to a level of 8% and below. From this, taking a look at the capital allocation, this remains unchanged. We will fund distributions, dividends. You know our policy very well, 40 to 60% of the adjusted net profit will continuously grow. The last 2 years, we were at the higher end of this bandwidth, close to 60%. We will fund the organic growth that we have talked about, 4 to 5% revenue growth per year has to be funded. And as we will see during the day, we are funding M&A transactions as well, where we are looking to achieve attractive top line and bottom line growth, increasing total shareholder return, access to skilled labor. I think Thomas really explained this very well, how important that is. And the second one is obviously driving the full line offering in all our core regions so that we service our clients. And last but not least, share buyback is an important part of the toolbox that we will be using if and when the time is right to do this. All of this is based on a sound financial policy where we expect to achieve investment rating, I wouldn't say anytime soon, but we have certainly taken important steps, and the positive outlook that we got from Standard & Poor's this year makes me very, very confident that this is almost around the corner. So, what is here for you to remember? We make it really easy for you. Revenue, 4.8 to 5.2 billion. Profit, 4.8 to 5.2%, 2024. Yeah? So, yeah. Cash flow, strong focus on working capital improvement, taking NTA to revenue from 12% to 8% in the midterm, and capital allocation remains unchanged. With that,